is bad timing with you.
Party foul.
The
15-yard
first frame of the
penalty.
VOD's gonna be Mina choking.
Ugh.
Are you alright? Okay, good. Alright, let me
Party
share.
foul.
I'll copy these and then share them in the servers.
I have SpongeBob.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
And Jollibee.
Yo,
Oh, that's sick. Final Fantasy Jollibee.
that is so sick.
That's really nice.
There we go. Okay. Should be good. Everybody say something real quick. Make sure I didn't make the mistake I did last week where
Hello.
we have
Hello.
no audio. We would have had like a whole podcast of just Mark's audio for a podcast. Mark was not talking very much. That would have not been good. But okay, we are here. I'll give us a lead in here and we should be good. As per usual, people in chat, let me know if the audio's off or something. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Cast. Big episode number 10. Double digits.
Ooh.
Very hype, very
Whoa.
hype. We haven't been canceled yet. We're hopefully gonna stay that way, but who knows?
Not yet.
Not yet. Very excited to have everybody here today. We've got Mina back once again. We got Marco also back once again,
Hello.
and we have Mark also back once again. Super happy to have everybody here, and we will jump it off by I will be lobbing a question to Mina if she's ready
Yar.
to talk God of War, because I know you really
God of
been wanting
Woke.
to talk about it.
I love it. I can't believe it took you all this long to recommend it to me. Like that's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, they paid us to gatekeep it.
Yeah, the
Good
Illuminati.
job.
They were like, she
Yeah.
can't play this.
No, the deep state.
The deep state was keeping you
said-
from it.
We can't have her play this game.
Well, it is good. It is good. It's so cinema. I'm only 3 hours in, and it feels like that the first 3 hours was like just tutorial. Like I just got the map.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 hours.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a
Mhm.
long game, but
It's pretty long, but not too long.
okay, it's not like Baldur's Gate.
No.
Probably
okay.
25, 30 hours.
Oh, okay. Then I can see myself getting behind that. But no, it's really fun. The combat is a little bit difficult, but I did choose like a more difficult, like balanced mode, which I don't usually do. I usually do the easiest one, which is usually the story mode. But listen, I think I want y'all to be proud of me because I didn't take the easy way out. I was like, all right, let me just challenge myself.
That's fair.
And I'm sticking to the balanced mode. So the combat
That's
is a
good.
little bit difficult. I kept dying to the guy that was said by
Baldur.
Odin. Yes. Well, I'm not supposed to know his name yet because he just like
Oh, okay.
it just
Whoops.
said stranger in the beginning, and I still don't know his name technically.
That's fair.
But yeah, but apparently he's Boulder from what I'm told. And
That's a game.
that fight. Do you all remember what happens in that fight?
Oh, yeah. I remember it very vividly the first time I played it. It's so sick.
Marco, do you know what happens?
I remember. I believe there was an exchange of words, and you do use violence.
That did happen.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I distinctly have a memory. I always remember thinking how crazy it is when he hits him with the tree.
Yes,
It's
and
so
he's
it's
still
so
alive.
sick. And he's still
And
alive.
Brooke's
Yeah.
still alive. Oh my god, that pissed me off so bad. I thought I was done. Like even getting to that, like it took me 10 tries, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, finally, I'm like, I can just like save here, like
Yeah.
it's done. No, bro comes back to life, and I have to fight him again.
He does.
And I was losing my. Oh my! It was so hard.
That is it's kind of a tough fight for the start. It also sets a precedence for how they're going to use the camera, which is super cool. which I know Glenn had talked about
Mm.
off stream, but like that the game has no cuts, so it's like all like one continuous camera shot.
Which is cool.
I think the first time you realize how far they're gonna go with it is when he hits Kratos and the camera follows him through the air, right? Like it follows Kratos through the air as he hits the house, rolls off of it, and then lands
Yeah.
on the other
Mm.
side.
Mhm.
It's so sick. Absolutely love it. There's a
Very cool.
reason. Goodness gracious. There's a reason that game won Game of the Year in 2018. It's so cool.
Right.
And it was the same year as Red Dead.
Yes, very controversially, it beat out.
Oh wow!
It beat out Red Dead 2 for Game of the Year in 2018. I remember that. There was a lot of angry people online.
I mean, that's a tough choice, though. I could see why people would be mad.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of what people talk about when they think Red Dead's so good, too, is the acting, especially from the guy who plays Arthur, and he won Best Actor, which was very deserved.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
That's always how I felt.
Kratos voice person win something else?
He did win. He won when the next one came out. When they made Ragnarok.
Oh, the next one. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, he won.
No, well, I mean, well deserved. Right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The cool thing, now Mina, I don't know, you ever played like the original or even know, like, have you seen stuff about the original?
Willis gave me a little synopsis about what happens. Like, I know he has a really bad past.
Yes.
And like,
you could say that.
The lore is like hinted at in this game.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like those original, like this is essentially like a remake or like reboot series.
It was a reboot, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like those events from the other games still are canon, right? And it's just like, but I really like this version of Kratos because he's not like, I don't know, I've played the original games. He's just more of like a mascot character. He's just always angry and whatever. And this Kratos is awesome because he's so kind of reflective, and he's like, oh man, I'm not like that anymore. I'm just trying to raise a family, and you know, these things keep happening, and you know, like, I'm just trying to defend my family and whatnot. So I think it's a very rare, I think, in gaming where you take a character that was like a certain way from a certain series or franchise, and they are so ingrained with the type of personality, and you do a reboot that's not only a successful reboot, but like, I think is just better.
It is better
than the original series it came from. So
no, really I 100% agree. I think I don't know, it's a good example too, because it's such an interesting idea the way they take the character of Kratos from the originals to the new one. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny how well they changed who he is, right? And especially, I love that the game respects that, too. Like, I know Mina was talking about the first boss. He says to Kratos, you know, he goes like, you really think you can just come out here in the mountains and run away from what you did? Which, like, if you play the first 3 games, it is kind of wild. Kratos was like, I'm just going to pretend I didn't do that.
Right.
And he's shocked. It's like, how do they know my past? And I'm like, bro.
It's like, dude, you've killed every notable mythological figure in like Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So I don't think they were gonna forget.
No. Yeah, he doomed Greece.
Yeah,
his
exactly.
fault. It's all his fault.
Right.
And so I love, as Mina will see as she goes through the game too, I love 2018 for the way it redeems what is essentially an irredeemable character, right? Like, Kratos is 100% like a villain in the originals, you know? At least I would say. I don't know if that's like a common take, but I always interpreted it as he wasn't exactly a good guy. Neither were the Greek gods, but I wouldn't say Kratos is out here being a hero by any means. And then he's a very selfish character, and it's interesting to make him...
How did he meet his wife? Like, is that in the earlier game?
No, he had a different wife in the earlier games.
Yeah, he had like a whole family.
Yeah,
is the whole thing. Like, so he had like an entirely different family, and that's kind of one of the reasons.
Before?
Yeah, he had
we can do this on the podcast. We'll lore drop on Mina here, and then she can like fill in the gaps. Essentially,
That's actually kind of fucked up.
The plot of God of War 1 is that Kratos is a Spartan in Greece who has a family and a wife and kids, and his wife and kids, to summarize it very easily, are killed by Ares, the god of war. And so Kratos is Ares, like Greek Ares, the god of war, like from Hades,
like the sign, like the Ares, like Mark is a double Ares, like
like you're never gonna guess where that name came from.
Yeah,
it is from the god, the Greek god.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
So Ares kills his family, and the entire first God of War game is Kratos hunting down Ares in order to kill him, to essentially get revenge for what he did, right? So at the end, spoiler alert, he kills Ares and becomes the God of War. And the second and third game are him being like, you know what? I'm going to take this a step further. I'm going to kill all of the Greek gods. All of them. Because I'm angry. You know?
So.
And the first three games have a really interesting thing they do where it's like every character is telling Kratos, like, hey, we get it. You killed Ares. You were mad. You know, he wronged your family. You kind of killed a lot of innocent people in the process to get to Ares. But, you know, you got your revenge. That's good. But if you kill the whole Greek pantheon, it will destroy all of Greece. Like, there will be no gods to sustain this realm anymore. And, like, millions will die. Kratos is like, I don't care. Doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to kill all of them. And then that's pretty much what he does for the next 2 games. And I will add, in quite brutal fashion, I remember being a kid and them showing that clip. Mina won't know this, but I don't know if either of you remember, Marco and Mark, that clip they would always show of Kratos ripping off Helios's head.
And
they used to show that
he like gouges his eyes out with his thumbs.
Oh God!
Yeah, he gouges his eyes out and then pulls his head off. And I remember them like that was on every anti-video game political poster. Like,
for sure.
Ever. Like ever. I remember like every time like a politician would be like, these games are ruining the kids' minds. They put that like, picture up
is the game
of Kratos pulling that guy's head off.
Future school shooters.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
This game was absolutely in that narrative. Sick as fuck though.
I never played the games, but I remember I would watch like YouTube compilations of all the god fights and their deaths.
Yeah, they're sick.
I was like, I remember those being really brutal, but yeah, I don't know why he did that. I guess, you know, you explaining the first one makes sense, getting revenge, but why did he kill the rest of the Pantheon?
Uncontrollable rage. Okay. It's very funny. It's very funny too, because every time he kills the gods, you would get like upgrades, and the Helios upgrade was always so funny because he would just hold his head as like a lamp. So he just carried this decapitated head around for the whole game and used it like a lamp.
Right, yeah, because his head would just like glow. His head would just glow.
Yeah,
but you just have this guy's torn off head as in your inventory.
Yeah, a lot of controversial stuff. I still remember all the different clips people would show of like crazy shit from those games that would like get them in trouble. I know Glenn has brought up the mash circle to have sex from the original games. He's talked about that on the podcast when he's angry.
Right.
For the uninitiated, if there was ever a sex scene in the original game, it would pan away, and it would have you mash the circle button, and it would just like play the noises.
Right.
It plays the noises.
Oh yeah, you can hear all of it.
Noises, yeah.
And it's like mash circle.
Kratos?
Yeah.
And there was one.
The dead wife.
No.
No.
Oh, you gotta talk about the one. Anytime there was like a struggle event in the game, it would have you mash a button.
Time.
It was a quick time event, right? Like you'd press the buttons or like mash circle. Famously, you would do that for the sex scenes with like Aphrodite or the prostitutes or whatever. But Marco has another one that everybody talks about.
So there's a really famous one where it's also remember it's in an era where they love their QuickTime events and their button mashing prompts. So this one was the abandon your daughter prompt, like mash the circle button because your daughter's like holding onto your leg like, daddy, don't go. And then Kratos is like
I'll pull
shoving her back and so you're pressing circle as fast as you can to like shove her back, and that was the mini game. Like that was the quick time event.
Wait, I thought, but the daughter alive. I thought they get killed. No.
But there's like flashbacks. There's like flashbacks.
Oh, it's a flashback. Okay, got it.
It is. All right, here I will play this on stream. If you guys have the streams up, you'll be able to see this.
That's funny. It's like, no, cringe. Don't touch me.
It's like, get off me.
Do you think he called his daughter like girl?
This is so bad.
I mean, probably.
Abandon your daughter, quick time.
There it is.
That's it.
Abandon your daughter, quick time event.
It's so crazy.
Oh, this kid's persistent.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
I don't even like you like that. Come on. Get out of here.
Just trying to pry the arm off.
It's crazy work. It is crazy work. Oh, yes. Glenn is correcting in chat. It's a serpent blood illusion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He gets poisoned and hallucinates it. But yeah. The original 3 games are essentially a cautionary tale about rage. So it's very fun to then take that character and be like, hey, what if we made him a dad?
Right.
And that is what's so funny every time Kratos gets like upset at Atreus for being annoying. And it's like, you can see him holding back the anger. And I'm like, bro, I played the 3 games where you crushed heads for less. Like,
right.
And your son's like, Dad, I hate you. And he's like, deep breaths. Like, do not get angry at my son.
I'm so convinced he doesn't know his kid's name. Like,
boy.
Yeah.
Just calls him boy.
It is really funny every time he just goes, boy, we are going hunting. You know, and it's just like...
Have you seen what the actor or like the voice actor for Kratos looks like? He's like massive.
Oh, he looks just like he looks like Kratos. Yeah. Well, not 1-to-1, but like if you look up a picture of Christopher Judge, he does kind of look like he's got the build.
He's a big imposing guy.
He is. He's a massive guy. His son's a professional football player.
That fits the bill.
It does. But yeah, those first 3 games are essentially him killing the whole Greek pantheon and dooming Greece for eternity. Like the fall of Greece historically is Kratos' fault. Right? Like Greece fell to smithereens because of him. Because he just had to kill Zeus.
That's what they don't tell you in the textbooks.
They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you about Kratos in textbooks.
No, they don't. They do have images of him for the whole gaming boycotts and stuff from the 2000s, though. I distinctly remember seeing propaganda artwork of Kratos on trial in like the Supreme Court, and he looks confused.
What?
It was like propaganda art from like the 2000s. I remember that. But the best thing, and I think Mina can attest to this even with the newer games, God of War is probably the only game I played that does scale like perfectly. Like the original 3 and the newer ones, like enemies that feel huge, like the giants. Famously in the new ones, the World Serpent, right? Jormungandr.
Yeah.
Like these characters
that feel
big.
That scared me. I'm not gonna lie.
These like massive, imposing creatures, essentially. I mean, because like obviously the famous fight from God of War 3, where he fights Kronos, right? And Kronos is literally like 1,000 feet tall. So the boss fight is just you climbing him, right? It's so cool.
Oh,
I love all that stuff. You don't have to do that. That's in the 3rd one. You're playing the 4th one.
Oh, okay.
The older,
the older ones. Yeah. But that's one of my favorite things about God of War is the giant enemies that you fight. Like, I think that shit's like so cool.
Yeah. I think the only other game that I ever like experienced was that handled the scale well and made like giant enemies feel like giants was Shadow of the Colossus.
Also a classic,
where it's like where they're massive and they're kind of slow and hulking and just like climbing onto them is already most of the challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Also, I talked about this off stream yesterday with Mark when I was talking about Denshattack, which I'll talk about later on the podcast. I'm going to have my rant moment because I love that game. But God of War does something I think is great, which is really good sound design and very like making little things incredibly satisfying. Like when you're playing on the PlayStation, it has that really good like haptic feedback, and you press triangle and Kratos extends his hand and catches the axe, like makes it come back to him. It's satisfying every time you do it for the whole game. It's cool every time.
Oh yeah.
To have him just reach out and catch it.
Dual sense when like the controllers shake, and I'm like, whoa.
It is really cool.
Experiencing.
I wish more PlayStation games used the haptic feedback and sensors that the PlayStation 5 can use. Like I feel like a lot of games just ignore it, which is very disappointing because it is awesome.
I think a lot of Sony, like the PlayStation exclusive games or like Sony original games, do that a lot, which I appreciate. Like even Red Dead, I know like when I ride the horses, I can feel the vibration. Can I go back to how? So is it not explained how he meets Faye?
Oh, it is. It's explained in the game you're in. He will talk about it.
Like how he met her?
Yes.
I'll find out. Okay.
It's not explained in like a ton of detail in the one you're in. It's explained a little more in the next one, in Ragnarok. The giants, which she's a giant, the giants are a lot more important in the sequel.
Okay.
But it is explained. Maybe not in like a ton of detail, like one day he was walking in the woods and he looked up the hill and she was that, it's not that kind of thing. But Atreus does ask, I believe, at one point, and he talks about it.
Okay.
There's a lot of very good dad of boy moments in the game where like him and Atreus just have like a chat, and the acting is just incredible between the two of them. I also always forget that Atreus is played by the kid who was from the movie mid-90s, if anybody's ever seen that, the skateboarding movie.
Oh, the Jonah Hill movie.
Yeah, the Jonah Hill film. It's the same kid, and I always forget that. I'm always like, oh yeah.
Wow.
He's apparently also going to be in that Looks Maxing movie that's like making fun of the Looks Maxing
what?
YouTubers.
Hold on.
That's a whole
Looks
thing.
Maxing movie, yes.
Is it called the Looks Maxing?
It's called
movie?
Looks Maxing, if you look it up. Yeah.
Right. It's like a
It's going to be like a parody film. But that's Atreus in that.
So, stay tuned. They'll call him Boy in that movie.
Yeah. Boy.
Boy.
I'm mogging boy. You tell I've played these games a lot, and I just have like the Kratos voice like forever in my brain.
He looks kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie.
They definitely had him wear prosthetics for that movie, I think, to make him like try to exude his jaw and stuff. I think, but maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely love God of War 2018. Actually, a good question too, Mina. You did the first major boss. After that, how far did you make it? I know you said 3 hours, but like, what was the last thing you did in game?
So I met the sea serpent, World Serpent.
Yeah, World Serpent.
And I think right now I'm in. Oh, it's so like the boy shoots this like or hunts. I don't know what it's like a pig or something.
Oh yeah,
and it's like
a boar, I think.
And I'm supposed to save it because this witch lady is like, "How dare you do that? You have to go get these like things out in the woods to like heal him." And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, I remember that part.
So I'm there, and I'm in like, and she sends me into this like different realm, and she just kind of like sends me into this like fetch quest, I think. Which then I think I'm past that part. I meet what's his name's brother?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's the little guy. It's a short king that made the
yes, I can't remember their names, but it's the Forge brothers, the two brothers who run the Forge to upgrade your weapons.
So I meet the second brother, and I just passed that checkpoint.
Okay, cool.
If that makes sense.
No, yeah, I know where you are, because you're in the one room where you can travel between the realms and stuff.
Yeah, yes.
Because that's one of the best parts of both of those games is like going between the 9 realms. Of like,
there's 9 realms.
Yes, just like in Thor. Brock and Sindri. There you go. Thank you, Glenn. Because I was talking Brock and Sindri, the brothers. Yeah, love them. Great characters, incredible characters. There are 9 realms. I will tell you now, so that you don't get disappointed. You will not visit all of them in this game.
Okay.
They will save some of them for Ragnarok.
Makes sense.
Yeah, spoiler, you're not going to make it to Asgard in part 1 of 2.
Oh. How unfortunate.
How unfortunate. Oh, shucks. Who'd have thought? No endgame content in my game? But no, it's so sick. I'm really excited to see you finish it and then have you back on to talk about the ending of it. Because it's so sick. So cinema.
I fear I'm going to take some emotional damage. The way y'all are talking about it, it sounds like something, you know, like Expedition 33 type shit is going to happen, and I'm going to be like,
it's it definitely pulls on the heartstrings, but I would say it's very emotional.
Glenn said you will, so
Glenn did write you will, and I'll be honest, you will. But I would say you don't expect yourself to be in Expedition levels of depression. Maybe I'd say that. I would not say it gets that miserable. Like Expedition, like you kind of there's parts of that game you stare at the ceiling, but it's definitely going to be an emotional journey in God of War for sure. I definitely want to. I think that's a game I'm curious one day to see how it would maybe hit as a parent. Because I have friends who've played it since becoming like a dad, and he's like, it hits way different when you replay it when like you have your own kid. He was like, damn, man. So I'm really curious if one day I'll have that opinion, or if I'll just be like, nah, it's still just good. Who knows?
Yeah, because as someone who doesn't really know much about either game, I never played it because I didn't have a PlayStation. I feel like the newer ones are much more intriguing just because of what character Kratos is like, just like a lot more solemn and reflective. Whereas, like you said in the first one, he's kind of more like a mascot. It's like, hey, that's the PlayStation guy that's angry and kills the guy.
Literally, that's what it is. Yeah.
But in this one, he just again, I don't know anything about it. I'll probably play it after Mina does. You know, just add it to my backlog. But I feel like it's much more intriguing. Like, especially with that context that this was just like an angry guy previously who was just killing things, and he's just really angry, and then it's all of a sudden this one he's like a lot quieter and subdued, and he has a kid, and you can even tell by just looking at him, he's like, this is a guy that's gone through shit, but he's like, just you can tell just by looking at him, you can tell like he's much more calm and collected and controlled. Maybe, I don't know, but you know, it's like that's the impression you sort of see.
Definitely. I once had a friend describe it as the Hulk post therapy. It kind of is that. Tell me a story. Oh yeah, Glenn has a really good point where he talks about like he has emotions other than anger now. It's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
He's not just angry man anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, it's that.
It's also,
which is cool.
I remember, as a final note on God of War, because I think it's a really funny one, they hadn't made a God of War game in a long time when 2018 came out. It'd been probably, 8 to 10 years? Something like that since they'd made one. And I remember thinking to myself when they were like, oh yeah, we're going to do Norse mythology now, that it was just free money for PlayStation to just keep moving him to different mythologies.
Right.
I was like, that's like the money printing machine. Like, you just go, all right, we killed all these gods. Next one, you know. And I was like, oh, you could just do that for like every ancient civilization forever. Just keep moving him without mythos.
Going into spoilers, because Mina and I haven't seen it. God of War Ragnarok came out in 2022, and now we have God of Woke coming out soon.
Yes.
God of Woke, yeah.
But then I remember reading an interview that they were like, oh, and maybe I'm mistaken, but they were like, oh, we still have stories that we want to tell with Kratos.
Yes.
Is that implied that there's still more that they could do?
Yes.
Without going into spoilers.
They absolutely can. I will say the jump they make from God of War 3 to 4 is a much harder jump than it would be to go to a new mythos post Ragnarok.
Wait, 4?
Or yeah, from 3 to 4, Ragnarok to like 5 to 6 would be less of a like lore jump than 3 to 4 was. Because the ending of 3...
when you say 4, you're
I'm talking about
to God of War
2018. Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough because when you say it, it's like it was a soft reboot. Yeah, Glenn's agreeing with me.
It's just called God of War. Yeah,
because God of War 3 was its ending was retconned to make 4 happen, which was it says that he doomed Greece, like the fall of Greece was his fault. But when you actually play God of War 3, it tells you that he like destroyed the world. Like all of mankind is dead from his.
They're
actions.
like, actually, hold on.
And they're like, wait a minute.
We really can't tell any more stories with that.
Just Greece.
Just Greece is gone.
Not the entire world. We still have content. Yeah.
So I would say where they leave Ragnarok, it's definitely open to be like when we were watching for the chat at home, we watched together the State of Play when they announced God of War Laufey. Right. And when I started seeing like Egyptian stuff, I was like, there we go. That's next. That's going to be next. And that almost feels like that's what Laufey's going to set up. Is like she's clearly beefing with some dead god from Egypt because she's riding on the Sphinx, you know.
Oh yeah, Anubis, right? Like the
yeah, exactly. And yes, as Alexa said in chat, delete Greece. It's very funny because that's an easy transition from there. Have Laufey start beef in the afterlife with the Egyptian pantheon, and then it's like Kratos is like, you know, on another adventure in Egypt, and they're like, we don't want you here, and then there you go, another 3 games, right. You know.
but the implication of Laufey, and it might be different when the game comes out, but they open up with the opening scene of God of War 2018.
Yes, it's the same scene.
You're kind of, I mean, maybe it might be different based on how Laufey plays, but the implication is you kind of go back to that point where they were like burning her and then she wakes up. So maybe the timelines will work differently, but it's not continuing from Ragnarok. You're sort of going back.
Yes.
But you know, that could change obviously depending what they do with, because you know, maybe she's there for a long time and then by the time you're done, it's like that's also like caught up with where Ragnarok or Valhalla.
Well, interestingly, this is just there, and I can talk about this for where Mina is at in God of War. But if I remember correctly, Mina, and Glenn may correct me if I'm wrong, but this is, I know this happens at other points in the story, but I'm pretty sure you've seen this already. When you meet the World Serpent, it plays the giant horn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they play the horn, and it says that the horn like echoes across the universe, which is what summons like the World Serpent, right? Essentially. And then it comes down and talks to you or something like that, right?
So I think it's slightly different. What I remember is like, you know, the kid can read like the giant language or something, whatever, right? And Kratos can't. And like the kid reads this thing before this glowing statue where basically, you know, where the serpent like pulls up. He says like, oh, like it says you need to like drop your weapon into the water.
Oh yeah.
And that's what activates the serpent. Yes. And I eventually get it back, the axe, but it's like dropping the axe in the ocean is what activates it.
Okay, yeah. Because I think it plays a noise or something. I don't remember. Maybe that's a little later in the game. I don't want to spoil anything. But they pointed out that there's a clear timeline where it appears that as you play God of War Laufey, they're going to do it where like it's taking place in tandem to the other 2 games. And there's definitely a scene in Laufey that syncs up with like them meeting the serpent in the like footage. Oh. So it's like she's definitely going on her adventure in tandem to Ragnarok in 2018, which I think is really cool. Even someone pointing out that like during certain scenes, like they've been stretching it, but that's what I hope they do with Laufey is like this was going on in the background. Because they're clearly going to expand on her character in that game, definitely. It is very funny, though, in retrospect, because so much of God of War 2018, even as much as Mina has played just the first few hours, is them being like, we're going to carry Mom's ashes so she can rest easy, you know? And meanwhile, you cut to Mom in the afterlife, and she's like beefing with people and fighting to the death.
She's not resting.
She is not resting easy.
For her life.
Not at all.
No, it runs in the family. It's just clearly like a family lineage of just, no, we all need to be actively warring with every god ever.
Yes. It makes so much sense, too, because Laufey is this, like, looming presence in the other 2 games, where it's like, you know, Kratos talks about her to Atreus and, like, these other things. But when you see her in that footage for it, you're like, oh, I see how Kratos fell for her. She's just as angry as he is.
Yeah,
like, they
exactly.
both have anger issues.
Exactly.
Like couples with emotional problems that are the same are perfect together, right? Like they're both super angry, so it works.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still very excited.
They beat their kid? Like
Atreus?
They're so angry. Like
no, I think they have enough to take it out on other things.
The other gods is a better punching bag.
Oh man, just sneezed inside my own mask. That's okay.
Shared love language is violence. Thank you for that, Mark.
Or like their idea of making love is just like beating up each other.
Yeah, like wrestling.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you fight
and the kid.
And the kid.
And the
kid. Yeah.
It's like when you have to fight Lae'zel in Baldur's Gate. If you go like the romance route for Lae'zel, she's like, we have to fight. You have to prove to me you're
right.
strong enough
it's like before you have sex,
like
you have to do
thing.
combat. It's literally that. Yep.
Kratos is like, perfect.
Awesome. Boner alert.
But yes, despite what chuds would want you to believe on the internet, I am still very excited for God of War Laufey. I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited.
Good time to jump into the fandom. New game coming soon.
Yeah.
Jack Quaid is
Shout out,
cube.
Glenn.
Shout out.
Shout out, Glenn. Thank you for recommending this to me.
That's not the only fantasy game. W-Rec indeed. Glenn always has good taste. I'll shout him out and say that on the podcast right now. He has good
taste, but like when it comes to recommending games for others, that's a different art. And
that is true. That's a good point. But God of War is not the only fantasy game you've been playing. You have been overlapping a little bit with Marco, which is continuing Skyrim, and also Avowed as well, which are both in a similar vein.
Yes,
Sorry, what was that one you mentioned?
Oh, sorry. I think I passed out for a second. I'll just,
Okay, yeah. So anyway, Skyrim.
I fainted. I fainted for a moment. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
But you're avowed to Skyrim? Is that what you meant to say?
Yes, exactly. You have been avowed to Skyrim.
Yeah,
of course, yes.
Skyrim, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have to say I kind of fell off Skyrim. I need to go back to that.
That's fair.
I think Marco played way more.
That's fair.
Or has been playing a little bit more recently.
But the thing is, I think what's really funny is how much Marco's influence of like giving you advice on Skyrim made you enjoy the game more. That was also what I thought was really interesting.
I mean, yes, that's true. You helped. So you knew like how to like do the dev like coding thing.
I literally, I have these
you helped me like break it.
I have console commands like memorized. Like
it's so crazy you had that like just cemented in the back of your brain. You were like, oh, I remember doing this when I was 12. Like, it's so crazy.
Yep. It's just, it's one of those things where, back in the day, in like the PlayStation 2 era, you would memorize cheat codes, or you would like write them down in a paper and put them in the box. And then now it's just become memorize console commands to play Bethesda games and fuck around there. But yeah, I've been playing Skyrim again. I got this bug where I just felt like, replaying Skyrim. Because the thing is that I played Skyrim when it originally came out, and then, back and forth. But I always played it with this intention of like, doing the quests. I beat the game a bunch of times, but it's like I didn't really kind of sit down and like read through the books and, like sit down and like read between the lines of what NPCs were saying and like all these little details, and it is phenomenal. Like, it's insanely good, and it's one of those things. I've said it before here. I said it before when we were talking about the 3x3, my 3x3 of games.
Yeah.
And if a game has enough impact on me, I will go backwards and start playing the other games just to see what led up to it. And that's what I've been doing, where I've been playing Oblivion now, and I've been playing Morrowind as well.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
you've been playing Morrowind?
I've been playing Morrowind as well, just to get a full understanding of the series. Because I would tell you, like, I wouldn't have considered myself a Elder Scrolls fan until now. Again, before I liked Skyrim, like it was great. Modding Skyrim has been great, and everything. But I was like, okay. But I seriously consider myself an Elder Scrolls fan. I don't know what's changed. Maybe I'm just older. Maybe I just like finally sat down and like, oh, this is really very, very interesting. It's a very interesting universe going on here beyond just this game. So it's been fantastic. It's been great. Although there's been an issue where I tried putting in too many mods and now my game keeps crashing, so I have to remove all the mods, and now trying to reinstall hundreds of gigabytes of mods makes my entire internet in my home just like shut down.
How many?
Bro, I remember you were blaming the internet for that for a while.
That's right. That's right.
Crazy.
I still am. I still blame the internet, because I mean, to be fair, we're talking about downloads that are hundreds of gigabytes. We're talking like 1,000+ mods, and I'm just like, oh, what do you mean my internet isn't handling this? What's going on?
I just looked it up because I had to think about it for a second. But if you have hundreds of gigabytes worth of mods, Skyrim is a 20 gig download.
That's right.
I think you just have.
Yeah.
What kind of mods needs hundreds of gigabytes?
Listen, there's a lot of physics involved, animations.
Got it. Yeah.
You know,
very intensive.
Are you making the dragons jiggle? Like, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
dragon jiggle mods.
There's dragon boob jiggle physics. You know. Yeah, listen, it's all part of the immersion. It's a part of the immersion.
It's like anatomy accuracy for the dragons.
Anatomy accuracy. Yeah. What's wrong with, why can't I see a little dragon pussy? What's wrong with that? I'm tired of not living the vision that Todd Howard wanted.
Yeah, this is what Todd wanted.
Limited.
Genuine question. So, like, I remember fighting. So you fight a couple of dragons in Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Do they have genders or sexes? Like, are there women dragons and male dragons? Like, or are they just like
it's
dragons?
In the descriptions of their lore, some are different genders. Yeah, but you can't tell, like, just by looking at them.
You can't tell, and the ones that speak in Skyrim are male.
But yeah, there are female
voice
ones. Glenn's confirming that for us in the chat too. There's both, yeah.
So,
but yeah,
so I'm hearing the mods help you differentiate.
Oh, that's a good point. Or
listen, also remember, in Skyrim, you are the Dragonborn, so you are half human, half dragon. That means somebody had to have fucked a dragon. Someone.
You're right. Actually,
he's cooking.
You're literally a half human, half dragon. So that means somebody
did some sick shit.
Someone had to have fucked a dragon.
Like, they did some
something
sick shit, and therefore I am here as a Dragonborn.
Exactly. So
wow, that's fucked up.
So just something to think about. And yeah, so it's been good. And even without all the mods and whatever, I mean, again, the world and the world is just super interesting because of the fact that I don't really know that many sorts of stories or settings where it doesn't feel like there is just one truth, you know, especially when it comes to the gods and like the next layer of reality where you read through all the, because you know, in Skyrim and in Oblivion and like in the Elder Scrolls games, there's all these books everywhere, and a lot of times these books aren't necessary to a quest or anything. They're just books, and you know, for a long time I was just like, oh, this is flavor text, right? Like this is just whatever.
So you're actually reading.
I've been reading through a lot of these books, but the really interesting thing is that it's like our world, it's like real life where it's like, hey, maybe the person that wrote this book had an agenda, like there was something, you know, it's like there's context behind it. So there isn't just like one real truth of these are what the gods are, this is how you become a god, this is like what this was. It's like it's like our world where history is skewed depending on who's looking at it, depending on their agenda, depending on the context. So
wait,
it's really interesting.
Marco, have you seen? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but like,
No,
have
no,
you
you're
seen
good.
this like YouTuber that does like, what was the unemployment rate in Skyrim, or like, can you live an
Yes.
I
average
have seen
life in
those as well.
Skyrim?
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I love those
those.
videos.
That's like one of my go-to like eating food YouTube videos for sure.
Mark, the lusty Argonian maid. How could this be?
That's the only book. That's the only book in Skyrim where I know the exact location.
Right.
By heart. I know the exact location by heart.
For no particular reason.
Yeah.
Just really love the lore and the story for that one. Yeah.
It's exceptional world building. Good. So,
yeah. Well, I have to admit that like I read none of the dialogue in Avowed, so I low-key don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna commit to not reading.
That's good. I think that's the vision they intended when they made that game. They said, yeah, whatever.
It's actually all a hallucination. That game never came out. We've
you
all
actually just overdosed on skooma. You're overdosed on skooma outside of Whiterun with the Khajiits, and you're like, oh. And when the end of Avowed, like the credits start playing, you just wake up and they're like, oh, how was it? Are you okay?
No, it's like you rub your eyes and then you wake up to the opening scene of Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim.
You're finally awake.
It's like, wait, what game have I been playing? Oh shit, I'm on the cart.
You're trying to make it cross the border too, right? Yeah. That would be great.
It's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's a great game.
I also wanted to say, Bethesda, in the news recently, announced all their upcoming games after Xbox essentially put the gun to their head. It was like, hey, you got to talk about what you're working on. Let me pull it up exactly.
Yeah.
They announced... where is it?
I remember that was like last week or so, or a while ago. And I mean, yeah, it was definitely because of all the layoffs.
Right.
And just the fact that Bethesda hasn't released anything, even though everyone ignores that Starfield came out. They're like, Bethesda hasn't released a game in decades. And I'm like, did everyone just forget about Starfield? Massive new IP. No, they haven't released a single thing. They need to get back to work.
That's right.
So they announced they are prioritizing Elder Scrolls 6, and Todd said it was in a playable state. He said they play it at the Bethesda office, so it's playable. It's not like Todd was like, "Oh man, Elder Scrolls 6," and he just opened Claude. Like, Claude, help me out.
Right.
I'm way behind schedule.
Claude, develop Elder Scrolls 6. Make no mistakes.
Yeah.
Or they like I forget if it's Unity or Unreal, but when you like have the first project, and it's just like the like placeholder textures and like.
Right.
They're like, yeah, it's playable. We're on it. Like, guys, we gotta really they're really on
do something.
We gotta really make this game, I guess.
But they said prioritizing Elder Scrolls 6, but announced that they have a team working on Fallout 5 and remasters of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, additionally with a collaboration with Obsidian to make a new Fallout game again.
Right.
So that's everything that they announced pretty much, and that's everything that the whole studio is working on.
Yeah.
Good.
Can I go to eat?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that I kind of wish that they didn't announce it, because one thing from the coolest thing about Oblivion Remastered, just going back a bit, right? Because it was like maybe a little over a year ago now, right? And the way it was like teased that the remaster was coming, but nothing was officially announced. And all of a sudden they were like, we have a live stream today. And then you watch the live stream. They're talking about the Oblivion remaster. People are going crazy. Like the leaks were true. And then they were like, it's playable today.
Right. Like, that was cool.
I know that year, and then people were like, oh man, it's too bad this indie studio that developed Expedition 33, it's completely overshadowed, man. No one's gonna pay attention to this game now. And then crazy. They won like every award. So it was actually Oblivion that was like overshadowed by that. But
the irony of that is crazy.
In my opinion, that was like the most aura farming that Bethesda has done.
It did hugely good PR for them.
Yeah. And I'm disappointed by that announcement because then now I know it's coming. And I don't know if it's months or like a year. You know
it's happening.
Yeah, so I understand why they did it. I wasn't really a fan of it because I was hoping for another shadow drop, day of they just have a live stream and it opens up like the Fallout cinematic of you, they play a video of you exiting the bunker and it's like Fallout 3 but updated graphics, and then
that would be cool.
Again, they're available today. Man, that would have been so cool. But instead we got a tweet where halfway through it was buried that those the FTC leaks from years ago. Yeah, that's true. We're working on it. I'm like, okay, well, no release date, no expectation.
Yeah, nothing.
It's just and it's worse. It's you already knew that they were working on it. But I didn't want to know. I don't want to hear about it until it was out, and then I can download it that evening and play it for the next 3 days straight.
Yes, exactly.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's also Bethesda's always been a studio that usually works in secret. So seeing them be open like that is really funny, especially considering Todd Howard made the comment in all of the announcements that he reads the Reddit. He was like, when you post on the Bethesda Reddit, we read everything. So I'm just imagining people being like, how can I make my lizard woman Argonian significantly hotter with mods? And Todd's just like, okay.
Oh, okay. Write
that down. Hundreds of He's gonna see this. If this podcast does well enough and it gets posted to the Reddit, Todd's gonna see this.
That reminds me of the FanFest when we went. They, how Final Fantasy 14, they did Q&A with the audience and what's his name, the guy that makes it, Yoshi P. They all aggressively horny questions.
Of course,
and it was no shame, and I respected that.
Yeah, zero shame. Final Fantasy also has their fan fest, I believe, this weekend, right? The next one.
They're going to be having so they're going to have 3, and we went to the North American one, and this weekend is the one in Europe and Berlin, and then in October it'll be the one in Japan before they release the expansion early.
Wait, Loki, we should go to Japan.
We go to the Japan one.
I did look into tickets, but it's already sold out. And
oh my god!
I don't know. I would have liked to also go to the one in Japan, but it's complicated because it's because the demand is so high. You kind of they prioritize people who have who are playing the game, so you can sign up for the raffle via your login and stuff. But then it's for the Japan one, it'll be if you had an account in Japan. So I've seen Reddit threads of people who are like, okay, so if I make a character in the JP servers, I level up, then I can apply for the raffle, and then it's you don't even get in, and then you could go. It's man,
that's such a pain.
Yeah, but it would have been cool to also go to that one.
What do you think they'll announce this weekend? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I messed up the vibes so badly, Willis. You are about to this was a continuous flow of conversation.
You're right.
And I just wanted to expose Mark because I peed and I went over to his screen and I found out this whole time Mark has RuneScape open.
Listen. I have been very subtly also moving my arms under the view of the camera. And I've been just clicking out of the window just to keep not be idle. And I've also been on RuneScape, so that's okay.
Well, I did
want to have locked in. That's sorry.
So we all Glenn in the chat. So we all game in during the pod.
I know he's not playing RuneScape.
For context, I'm training my melee stats with the gemstone crab, which means I'm completely AFK. I just have the game open and I need to click once every 10 minutes.
Exactly. Same.
Speaking of transitions, Marco and I have been getting back into RuneScape lately.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I have this RuneScape has been a game that a big part of it is a nostalgia factor. So
right.
I made a new account maybe a year or two ago, but I haven't played too often. But I did a big push a couple months ago. One thing I wanted to do in RuneScape ever since I was a kid. So there's in the game you have all these skills, right? and you can level there's like so many skills in the game. Some of them are combat based, some of them are like crafting and lifestyle based. But if you get a skill, and it's like 1 to 99, and if you get a skill to level 99, you can wear a cape of accomplishment that displays that you've mastered the skill. And when I was a kid, that was like the coolest thing ever, seeing people with the capes. So when I came back to the game, and this was a new account, mind you, I was like, I want a cape of accomplishment. So I did a couple of the beginner stuff, and then I immediately started training prayer because I Googled what's the fastest skill to get to 99, and prayer was one of them.
That makes sense.
So then I spent the next week using giving like bones to like player owned housing, and I did that for a week straight and got a skill of
Mark, I remember like you were grinding like at night on your phone, and I would hear like the swishing sounds like faintly, like when I'm trying to fall asleep, and I kept thinking like, oh, like maybe I left the windows open or like something, like, or like I left like something on like in the kitchen. And I would just ask Mark, hey, like, Mark, did you close the windows, or like did you like turn off the gas, the stove? And he's like, oh, sorry, that's me. And it's just like,
it's so funny.
It drove me crazy. But and he was, when we were in line for Liz's birthday at Joust, what's medieval times.
Yes.
In line of medieval times, you are grinding RuneScape.
That's a good man. That's a dedicated.
It's a loyal man.
Husband, low key.
Loyal man, right there. RuneScape player.
But that's like the thing with RuneScape. It's like it's they even advertise it themselves that this is a game you put on your second monitor while you're playing like your main game. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff you can do in RuneScape where you're like just AFKing. Yeah, there's like a lot of AFK methods to grinding your skills, and you just kind of can leave it on the second monitor. It's like a very low intensity effort, and you can just grind your skills. Now, to what purpose, you might ask? I don't know, but you can do it.
You want to do the higher end quests. You want to do other stuff.
That's true. A lot of, because, it has a free to play model, and then there's a membership, and I would always remember trying to figure out that was like one of the first games I asked my parents to like help me pay for. We've all had that game when we ask our parents.
100%.
Right. Yeah. And it's like I got them to agree to a membership for RuneScape, and that's when I went even deeper in it after I did all like the free to play quests. And there's just that game is so huge. There's so much to do in it. And it's been good going back and doing a lot of those early free to play and some of the member quests, and it's like I'm like transported back like 15 years ago to like when I did it for the first time.
Do you think so? I'll share a story first because you reminded me of it, and then secondly, I have a RuneScape question. Funny thing, when you talk about paying for stuff, it wasn't RuneScape, but it was WoW back in the day. I wanted my parents to pay for WoW, and they wouldn't. And I remember I was curious if anybody else had done this, where you would sit at the payment page because it's like, oh, you have to have it like charged, and you can't. And you're like an idiot 7-year-old child, 8-year-old child, right? And you're just like spamming numbers into the credit card slot, like maybe this will work. Maybe I'll hit a successful number and it'll charge, and I'll like get in.
That's
very like entrepreneurial of you.
Thank you.
At a very young age. That's actually, I kind of respect that.
Random guy.
That's like a solution-oriented person right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, surely this will work. Not thinking ahead, like, if I hit a real number somehow, I'd then have to have the right name and address.
The right name, address, security code, and expiration date.
Wouldn't have worked.
And zip code.
And zip code. That's true. But how do you think old school RuneScape would age for new players? Like, if somebody never played it, but just wants to pick it up and try it.
So definitely jump in here, Marco, if you want. But RuneScape has a very interesting sort of path with how it came out, and there's implications for what WoW might do as well. Where eventually, there's all these older versions of RuneScape that everyone remembers playing as a kid, and then eventually they developed a new one.
Yeah.
So the old one was gone, and it was just like it was RuneScape 3, I believe, and that was like the new.
That's
RuneScape.
Correct.
And then. Over time, they made changes that were very controversial. People didn't like it at all. And eventually, Jagex, the developer of RuneScape, were like, okay. People were saying, we just want to play the old one. Can you, like, bring an old version back? and eventually Jagex like pulled the community. It's like, okay, do you guys want old school RuneScape? And it was like overwhelmingly yes. And then old school RuneScape came out. So the version I'm playing is like, it's called old school RuneScape, but it's actually newer because it was like rebooted. You know, they brought back like how RuneScape was like not the oldest version, but it's like somewhere in the middle. Like and they brought it back, and it was massively popular. You know, hugely popular. And the interesting thing they do with old school RuneScape, so it's like they brought back an old version of the game, but now they're updating this game, not like catching up to the new one, but they're updating it in its own path. So I would say then to your question, Willis, it's like for a new player, you know, it's like you're not gonna, you know, for a lot of people, there's definitely a big nostalgia factor to it. I'll say that. I know that's a big driver for me personally, is the nostalgia factor, but it is also, you know, it's not talked about a lot in the MMO. I mean, it is, but when people think of MMOs, they think of like, wow, Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls, Guild Wars.
Yeah.
But a big one in the mix that is sort of not mentioned as much, but it's like right up there among the top is RuneScape, and specifically old school RuneScape. Old school RuneScape at this point, I would say, is probably more popular than the modern RuneScape.
Yeah.
So yes, I can tell you for a fact it is. There are more concurrent players for old school RuneScape right now than there are for RuneScape 3, which is the like modernized modern graphics version.
Right.
And
it's like if you go to their website, you know, you can go to oldschoolrunescape.com, and it's like the web page is just like what it looked like back in the day, and they have
original,
a player count. And right now it says there are 112,000 people playing.
Wow.
Which, you know, if you compare to like some of the Steam charts right now, it would put it right up there in like the top 10 easily.
Yeah.
So definitely,
you know how like
concurrent.
People like pedophiles groom kids on like Roblox?
No. Okay, this is absolutely, this is not 100% not a problem.
When you were kids, like were you groomed?
No, I wasn't groomed, but there's just a lot of Venezuelans on RuneScape.
Your people? Okay.
There's a lot of Venezuelans. Thank you for doxing my ethnicity. Anyways, there are a lot of Venezuelans in RuneScape because at the time when Venezuela's economy crashed, the RuneScape gold was worth more than the Bolivar. So there was like the ongoing meme is just like all of these Venezuelans are here trying to sell things for to make a living and whatnot. And then the only other problem, no, I wouldn't say that RuneScape had like a grooming problem. It just has a bot problem. There's just a lot of bots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bots to, I don't know, it's not like, oh, Jagex is, you know, using bots to make it look like there's more players than there are. These are players using bots to do other skills or to, you know, do repetitive tasks back and forth.
Yeah.
So that they could be more AFK. So, you know, like you could be AFKing on your main account and then you have a bot account that's running around doing something else. And so that's a thing. That's always been a problem. But it is one of those things where I think it's an anomaly. I think it's an anomaly of a game where you would think, hey, this game, you know, like a lot of MMOs, right? Sometimes, you know, an MMO runs its course. It has its momentum, it has its community, and then, you know, time goes on and we all grow up and we all kind of, you know, move on to the next thing. But old school RuneScape, I mean, RuneScape as a game, right? I think it's been around since 1998, 1999.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And it's still going, and, you know, Jagex as a company.
Older than RuneScape?
That's right. Mark is older than RuneScape.
Sorry, Mark, you're also getting doxxed today.
Right. but yeah, so it's been around for a very long time, and it is, I mean, the old school RuneScape is the reason Jagex is still around today. I can tell you that much. And yes, like Mark said, it's getting updated but not to catch up to RuneScape 3. RuneScape 3 is like its own thing. This is old school RuneScape where they add entire new continents into the map, and in 2025 they added an entirely new skill, which for a game where its skills are very iconic was like huge. It was groundbreaking. And it's actually a skill that also changed the way you navigate the world, because the skill is sailing. So you actually went out into the oceans with like a boat, and they have to add new enemies, new areas for boating that are specifically only reachable with your boat, with your like sailing boat, new enemies and stuff, new ways to explore. So again, fantastic. It's super fun. It's super fun, and I don't know why it works, but it just does work. Because in terms of graphics, it's nothing special, right? Like, but at the same time, it's very charming. It looks a certain way. It looks very unique, in such a way that it's very recognizable, even for people that don't play it. And the gameplay is almost practically turn-based. It's practically turn-based with like the way that you're fighting. You just click on an enemy and you automatically just go,
even I know that.
Right, exactly. So, but to answer your question, I would say it is still very friendly for somebody who just wants to go into it, because there's something for every type of player to do. I think that's the thing. You don't have to play it a certain way. You don't have to go questing. There's like barely anything is locked behind questing. And the things that are locked behind questing, you just have to do the intro quest to unlock that area. And that's like very accessible for players. So like the new continents, you'll just have to do a very short quest, like 10 minutes long, that unlocks that area for you. And then after that, you're free to do whatever you want in those areas. So it's not like you have to do entire DLC sized, chain of events type quests. Just do this one quest that introduces that area or introduces that skill, and then you're good to go. And then you can do it, and then you don't ever have to touch quests ever again. Like the quests, you don't have to do them. Now, I will say one thing. And I genuinely don't think this is like a hot take, but again, as somebody who's played RuneScape ever since I was a kid, I'll be honest with you, I have never sat around through any of the quest dialogue. I just like rapidly mash spacebar. I rapidly mash spacebar to just get to the next thing that I have to do and get my XP and just complete it and get my quest point. And to this day, don't ask me about any lore about RuneScape. I don't fucking know what any of that shit is. I just go like, I know that there's 3 gods. There's Guthix, there's Saradomin, and there's Zamorak. Zamorak seems to be the more evil one. Guthix is the green one, and Saradomin is the blue one. That's all I know.
One.
And that's it. But I don't know any story, like dialogue. I just rapidly just go through, which is like, that there are writers. Like somebody had to sit down and write through a quest with characters, with a whole story. I can guarantee you most players do not fucking know what the story of the game is. They're just like, all right, I'm just trying to quest. Or I'm just trying to grind and whatever. So, but regardless of that, it's still fun. So again, it's another anomaly where it's like, you don't have to know shit about shit with this game. You don't lose anything by like not really knowing what the story is. You can still have fun.
It seems like a great brain off game.
Yeah. Like, totally. But if you are the type of player where you're like, I don't want to just AFK, like I want to be actively engaged with whatever I'm playing, they have really updated the game with bossing, and with raids now, where you can't just sit back and like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and attack this boss. It's like, no, there are, phases and mechanics for these bosses where you actually have to be running around, you have to be avoiding attacks and things like that. So they have modernized a lot of the game in a positive way, where yeah, you have to be watching for, this telegraphed attack that's coming. Because even if you're a super high level and you have really good armor, like if you don't dodge that attack, it'll one shot you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So again, it goes back to my point. If you're the type of person where you want it to be a game in the background for you, and you're doing something else, as a lot of people do, that's a way to play. However, there are other things for you to do if you're like, no, I want a challenge. And these are genuinely really tough. If you want a challenge, but you want to be engaged, there's that too.
Yeah,
so there really is something for everything. There isn't just one universal way to play it, which I think is one of the great things about the game. And I think it's one of the reasons it's the longevity is as long as it has been for RuneScape, for sure.
To add to that, because it's interesting, because I would say Marco is pretty much right. Although I will say that I am someone who has been reading the quests, but the thing is, like, none of it matters, because the game it has like kind of like a British humor to it.
Yes, it's a very British.
So I actually think when it comes to the quests, I think you would enjoy the humor, but it's like so unserious and so non-consequential that it really doesn't matter. But I just like reading it. I remember reading it when I was young, and I'm like, these are so stupid. And I'm playing these same quests today. I'm like, this is such a dumb quest. Like, they're so stupid. Like, what a famous example early on is that there's a Romeo and Juliet quest when you get to the first city of Varrock, and they take a little twist on it, but it's not deep. It's really not much, and it's right at the very end, and you're like, this was so stupid. And that's pretty much like almost all the quests. It's just ridiculous and stupid, and it doesn't matter. And like Marco says, it's like like he doesn't read the quests. I do. I don't know what the lore is either.
That's fair.
So
yeah,
it's not like Final Fantasy Online, where it's like,
oh no, absolutely not. No, and you could pay attention, you cannot. I mean, some people don't pay attention in Final Fantasy anyway, so it's fine. But
and we will find you.
The thing about RuneScape that's different from like other MMOs is like it truly is like, after you do Tutorial Island, which takes like maybe half an hour, that it just sort of runs down, you're on an island and just goes through the basics of some quests and combat. You're dropped into Lumbridge, the famous starter player area.
Yeah.
And then the game, you just kind of can go from there. Like, there's no main quest. There's no. Now they've added, recommendations, and like there's an like activity advisor, and there's some additional tutorial like stuff to help new players out. But you can really just go anywhere from that point. You can do, and then some things are going to be gated behind other quests or skill requirements. But yeah, it's just once you're in, you can do whatever. Like, I did a couple quests, and I'm like, I want the level 99, and I could do that. Like, nothing stopped me from doing that except just like time investment and guild, like the gold. So yeah, it has this like it's probably the most sandbox MMO I can think. Big MMO, because I know there's other MMOs that do the sandbox, but this is probably like the most famous sandbox MMO there is out there. So
definitely.
And I was worried coming back to it, because I haven't played in like over a decade, and I was like, I've been thinking to myself, it would be good. I've been hearing how RuneScape has been getting more popular again, especially when old school RuneScape came out. And I'm like, man, I would like to go back one day and just sort of relive a bit of my childhood. But I was worried that I also knew like this game was like so big now, and there's like so many people playing that they just know so much. It doesn't matter. Like you could jump in today, and because it's a sandbox, you can just do whatever you want, And I think that's what makes the game really great. And then, there's even experienced players. Marco, you're telling me about this the other day. It's like there will be players who play this game for a long time, and they just make new accounts. Like, oh, I want to make a character, but they call them peers, where it's like, I'm going to level my stats in a certain way. And it's like really easy to do that. So I thought I was going to be overwhelmed and daunted, but it's really, it's really easy. It's easier than I thought getting into it, and that's someone who played in the past. It was pretty easy getting back into it. Yeah.
Right.
And the wiki, like the wiki for old school RuneScape is a massive. Like it's even the developers themselves. There's like on the screen, there's like a button to go to the wiki. So the wiki is a big resource as well for that game. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yep.
Is it hard to?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, is it hard to make the transition for players from the free servers to the paid ones? Like, how does that work? Because I know in Final Fantasy, you're on a server like committed. So like I don't know how that works.
Oh, so this is really interesting.
Yeah, I was curious.
But there are no server restrictions. So there's like hundreds of servers in the game, but you just like when you log into the game, it's like it just puts you in one, but it's like a button click to switch servers.
Oh, that's so cool.
They have so then obviously there's some free to play servers, and then there's the members worlds, and in the free to play servers, it's like limited to just free to play areas and activities. But then it's like once you're a member, and you can, if you're a member, you can do either. But if you're a member, then it has the member server. But it's just a button click, and each server there's like different types of servers where like for certain activities or group activities, there's like a designated server for that. So if people want to do an activity, there's like a server for that where then you can find people to do it. So it's really the servers are there just to like split people apart, like just split people apart, but there's no restrictions. It's not like other like in WoW or Final Fantasy where it's like if you join a server, you're kind of in that server. Now in more modern games these days, there's like a lot of like server sharing or server hopping, so it's not as much of an issue as it was in the past when we were kids. But in RuneScape, it's even more seamless. It's like you can world hop with a click of a button.
Cool.
Right.
I was really curious.
It's like it's really interesting. Yeah, you make a good point because I have played other MMOs where it's kind of like you're creating a new account and it'll just be like, pick the region where you're in, and that's it. You're in that region. And then that's it. Like you're in that server, and then maybe there are options to change your server, but it's like it might even cost you money or like in-game whatever tokens or whatever. So because for example, League of Legends, right, is a good example where a lot of people used to do. I remember back in the day, if you were in ranked and you were trying to get your rank up, what you would do is you would just go to the Brazil servers.
Yes.
And that was basically like an NBA player getting sent to China, where you would go pad your stats in another place. So that's the thing, but it used to cost riot points to do that. So that's a good example. But no, with RuneScape, like Mark said, you could just switch worlds seamlessly. It takes about 2 seconds, and you'll be right where you left off, where your player character was, but you're just in a new world. That's actually a strategy for a lot of people. That, for example, you're talking to a merchant or like a shopkeeper, and you bought out all the items in that store, but maybe you need more of that item. Instead of waiting for that thing to refill, you would just switch into another world, and it would just instantly be refilled, because in that world, in that instance, it's there, right?
Yeah.
So that's a thing. And then to go back to what Mark was saying, not only is it you can play this game however you want, but like he mentioned, there are people that completely change, every single aspect of the game to give themselves like a new difficulty level within the game. So for example, there are these things called Iron Men, which is like an official game mechanic, and you can choose to play that. They will ask you when you start the game, do you want to just play this game normally, or would you like to be an Iron Man? And so there's levels to the Iron Man. So basically an Iron Man it's a player that cannot use the Grand Exchange, right?
Oh, okay.
They have to make everything themselves, right? Or
so you can't get
they
items
have to
from
make
other
everything. You can't get items from other players. You can't trade with other players, and you have to do everything by yourself. So you cannot rely on trading or anything like that.
That's like in Diablo. They have solo self-found runs in Diablo, right? It's the same thing.
Exactly like self-found, yeah.
Right. And then there is hardcore Iron Man, which is all those restrictions as well. But then you can't use your bank. You cannot bank items.
Ooh,
so you have to manage your inventory of 28 slots the entire way through. And you have to juggle carrying things around, carrying all your gold, all stuff like that. And you can't bank. And then the other thing is, if you die with playing as an hardcore Iron Man, you get demoted down to regular Iron Man. And so people try to go as long as they possibly can and get through the game, with that, keeping the hardcore Iron Man. Because if you get far with it, it means that you never died once, right?
That's
like
so
not
cool.
once. So that's one thing. And then an unofficial way that people play the game as well, they're called the one chunks. And what that is, some people they lock themselves to a region. They'll lock themselves to, like, I can only play and do quests and do skills with whatever I have in this region.
Whoa.
Right?
I was about to say, when you said one chunk, I was like, what?
Yeah. So I'll get to the one chunk in a second, but first there's like the region. So there's Al-Kharid. It's the desert region. So you can only stay in there and you can't leave ever. So you have to figure it out. So you're locked into that region. So you have to do all the skills, get the best items that are available through there, and max out your skills to the highest capability with whatever is limited to that area. So you can imagine it makes the game a lot harder than just, I'm just going to run over here and go get this because it's in this area. It's like, I got to figure it out while I'm in this area. So that's a thing. However, there are people that make it even harder for themselves, and those are the one chunk players. And so what a chunk is when you look at the RuneScape map, it's like there are the chunks, which are 64 by 64 tiles. And a player will go, I'm going to pick one of these chunks and I'm going to lock myself into these 64 by 64 tiles. And I cannot progress to the next chunk until I've done everything there is to do in this chunk.
In that one chunk. Ooh, okay.
And that's so crazy. What they do is they'll roll, and it's RNG too. So let's say they do everything there is to do on that chunk. They will RNG all the neighboring chunks and see what they get. And sometimes it might be like, oh, okay, this is like a nothing chunk. There's not a lot to do here. It's very simple what I have to do here. And other times they call it a death chunk, where it's like, I'm so fucked. I'm going to be spending thousands of hours grinding in this one particular chunk because, for example, the fight caves, which is this mini game where there are bosses that are level 800, and you have to figure out how you're going to beat them with only the supplies and skills and resources that you have from the previous chunks and whatnot. So people, I've seen videos where they're like, I was mining this one ore for 10,000 hours because that's all I have. That's
10,000 hours.
And and I say this with all the love in the world. Definitely the old school RuneScape community and the video content that people make from old school RuneScape, they are autists of the highest degree, for sure. And again, I say it lovingly. It's incredible how they just find ways to abuse themselves for the sake of challenge, like for the sake of just shaking it up and doing something different. So yeah, again, the point being, you can play this game however you want. There's literally no wrong way to play it.
Do you think you appreciate aspects of it more now that you're older than when you were younger?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think, especially with the context of how MMOs have evolved, and I'm going to make a point back to, I'll connect it all, but what Mina said earlier, how come there aren't any like groomers in RuneScape? You have to understand that when we were playing RuneScape when it came out, it was just a bunch of middle schoolers. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. It was just a bunch of idiot kids just playing around in this new web-based MMO browser, which is huge. I think that was huge because then everyone was playing it in computer class. You know,
yes, I even remember
along with cool math games and Miniclip, and then there was RuneScape, and we were all playing these games in our browser.
Like stick figure games.
So it's just a bunch of exactly. So it's just a bunch of basically kids playing it. Now with old school RuneScape, it's just a bunch of unks and autists.
It literally is.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah, it is just onks.
And see, that's the thing. Like MMOs nowadays, it's just a bunch of unks that play these because these. You think of the top MMOs. It's like I would argue that the top 3 MMOs are WoW, RuneScape, and Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, definitely.
And all these are old games. They've been out for at least a decade, and it's just a bunch of people in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s who play these games. And I think they play those games because they're old games, and people appreciate what those older games, the gaming method, philosophy they had back then. Whereas nowadays, what all the kids play, or the Zoomers, it's like
they play
you
Roblox.
Look around, you play Roblox and you get groomed, and there's like weird cults in the game. Or
unfortunately,
it's like the gacha games where you have to drop like $100 to get the new 5-star character. So your point on like, do people appreciate these games? It's like I think so. It's like they want a game that doesn't have some of these more predatory monetary predatory aspects that a lot of newer games have, which is all these battle passes, and WoW's kind of getting there.
Unfortunately,
to be fair, at least retail WoW, and again, looping it all back together with WoW hesitated for a long time to, just like RuneScape, they were like, can we play the old version? WoW hesitated for a very long time to bring a classic version back, and when they did, it's one of the most popular modes of the game now. WoW's a complete mess because now they have their retail game, they have their classic versions, but now it's like it moves along with the expansions, right? Old school RuneScape sort of took a different path. It's like we're going to update the game, but we're going to go a different path. But with WoW Classic, it just like continued along the expansions in order. And what will be interesting in a couple of weeks or months when BlizzCon announces is a highly rumored announcement of Classic Plus, which is like going back to OG WoW, but like old school RuneScape did, it starts taking its own path rather than continuing down the expansions as the retail versions did. So that will be interesting to look at, because I know a couple of us have sort of played WoW. I know Mina did for sure. It'll be interesting to see how that rumored Classic Plus announcement will look like, and if it's gonna take inspiration from old school RuneScape, because again, I think old school RuneScape is definitely kind of like in the market, one of those MMOs that I don't think it's discussed a lot, but it's probably one of the top. I mean, like you said, Marco, it's what's keeping probably Jagex afloat at this point, and it's probably one of the biggest MMOs that's not mentioned as much in social media, but it's definitely huge, and
definitely
kept alive.
I think, and to like even connect segments when we're talking about Elder Scrolls and stuff, when you talk about reading things in the game, I feel like when you're younger, you have that like child brain where it's like everything needs to be action all the time. Like I definitely used to get a lot more bored in games like that when I was younger, because I was like, oh, I want to be hitting stuff or shooting things, right? Which is why I became like a big Kingdom Hearts fan, is because that game is constantly filled with action and combat, right? Like you're continuously fighting stuff. And I think when I play Skyrim when I was younger, I didn't appreciate it. I'd be like, why am I walking so much? Like, there's so much walking. But now that I'm like older and you have like a like shit day at work and you're really tired, just walking through like Oblivion is like peaceful. And you're like, oh, I'm starting to understand. It's starting to click for me as I get older. I'm like, I get it. I really get it.
I still don't read it though.
No, that's valid.
That's okay.
I'm an adult. I still don't read it. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it.
It's just your brain. I'm the same way. I can't read like when I open like a scroll in a game, I close it immediately. I'm like, and I close it. I just don't. It's just the way I am. I don't know why.
That's fair.
But I would definitely be that way with RuneScape probably too.
Yeah.
No, that's
I
that's
think
totally
you should definitely give it a try. You know, give it a couple of hours. I think you might enjoy it, even if you don't stick with it. I think a lot of the early stuff it's quite memorable, and I think it'll definitely give you a perspective of like sort of this is one of the OGs in MMOs and all those games we played in the past.
Mm-hmm. That's sick.
But speaking of just peaceful games and things that are toned down, how's Denshattack or Densha Train going?
I was about to say, okay, so Denshattack is a new indie game that just came out. It's taken the world by storm. It's selling very well on Steam. Apparently, it was one of the top games on Switch as well. Denshattack is a game where you ride a Densha or electric train in Japanese. I'm pretty sure that's how it's said. Mina can correct me if I'm saying it wrong.
No, you're correct.
Okay.
Mashing.
I also know, I think the way you're supposed to say it is Denshattack, like really fast, because it sounds like the word dash attack. Like, because you're moving, you're dashing around. I think it's supposed to be a play on words. It's more noticeable when the girl at the main menu says it with the like really thick Japanese accent when she goes Denshattack. I'm like, oh, okay, it sounds more like dash attack versus like when I say it sounds very flat. But Denshattack is a game where you skateboard trains. It's literally just like you like ride a train around and you flip it between rails and like grinding like a skateboard, or doing flips or riding the train rails and going all around, and you do tricks for points while completing levels in a Sonic the Hedgehog style, where it's like point to point, go as fast as you can, and more points you earn for doing tricks and being stylish while doing it.
It's like crack. Like visually, like it's colorful. The visuals are like changing all the time. There's so many colors, like a lot of prime colors.
Yes, exactly.
And there's like sounds, like all of your senses are engaged, and it's like kind of like crack. Like you just keep going back to it.
Oh, I am obsessed. So I was gonna say,
addicted.
I bought it last week when it first came out. I will open my Steam and shame myself really quickly. In the last week, I have put. Let's see, scroll up here. Where's Denshattack? I have 22 hours in Denshattack. I've been playing it a lot. It's very, very fun. I think what makes it work so well is, like Mina said, it does come off like crack because it's tons of visuals. The music is very fast-paced. It's also nice how many genres the soundtrack covers. It's like, you've got punk rock, you've got like high-level hyperpop, you've got hip-hop music. I just did a level where Lotus Juice, who does a lot of the rapping for the Persona games, is on the track for that level, which was really cool. I was like, is that Lotus Juice? He's still employed. My God, my goat, you're still out there. And Denshattack is essentially asking the question, what if I shoved Sonic the Hedgehog into Jet Set Radio? And it works. It just works. I think the game... Well, first of all, gameplay-wise, it's close to maybe Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And for the uninitiated, here, I'll hold this up. I can flex that I have a Steam controller. When you play Denshattack, you jump and like change rails with the triggers. And when you drive with the one stick like this, and you're essentially doing combos with the other one, you'll do like a quarter circle, and that's like a kickflip, right? And if you memorize the more complicated combos, you can chain them into each other when you do ramps, and you get more points, essentially, right? And each level has 8 dares for you to complete, which are essentially like challenges or achievements within the level. So for a good example is, I forget what they call them, but in the level where you're in Kyoto, also the whole game takes place in Japan. I should have said that. I'll talk about the plot in a second. But when you're in Kyoto, they have those, the drawings that are in the mountains. I forget. They look like different kanji characters, I think is what it is. I forget. In like the hills. There's like an achievement. One of them.
It's for Obon, right?
Yes,
like
yes.
For Obon.
Yeah, Obon.
Oh, like when they burn it? Or,
yes,
wait.
when they burn it.
When they burn the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a level to where you like ride through Kyoto, and one of the dares is to like light the Obon in the mountain, right? So you have to like take that specific path and like do a trick on it to like start the match, you know? So it has like side challenges for when you replay the levels, like, hey, go this way instead of the other, see what else you can do, see how quickly you can beat the level, stuff like that. As for the plot, it's pretty straightforward. It's not very complicated. You are a ramen chef who delivers her ramen via train rails because planes don't exist anymore post climate apocalypse in the world. So this takes place years after there was a climate collapse. And so everyone just rides trains now. There's no more airplanes. And she is known for like being the best delivery ramen driver in her area. And essentially this guy she delivers ramen to named Fernando is like, you should get into Denshattack, where they race and like kick flip the trains and everything. And you should start doing that. And rival gangs compete against each other to control areas of Japan. And then on top of that, the main cities of Japan have been domed to protect them, and they are owned by one big corporation, Myriado, who runs the dome cities and essentially says anybody who lives outside those dome cities is like filthy and gross and shouldn't be talked to. So you are essentially part of a rebel group that is trying to break up the dome cities, and you're also competing against the other gangs at the same time as you go through the story. And it's taking you from the south of Japan all the way to the north in Hokkaido. And essentially, the further you go, the more the levels change. And it is cool. As you complete levels, you get pieces of a magazine. And it will actually teach you about the area of Japan you're in real life, like different things that they're known for and stuff like that, along with telling you information about the gangs and characters that are from that section. It's a very well thought out game. Like every little thing about it is well thought out. And I'm very impressed with it. That's all I'll say. I haven't beaten it, so I don't want to fully comment on it yet. But right now, it's on track to probably be my game of the year. I love Denshattack. It's really, really fun.
Wow.
I think it could get beat out by something later on, but I think right now, even with RE9 having come out this year, I just love it. It's so fun. It's so easy to pick up. I was playing it a little bit right before the podcast, and I'll probably play more right after. It's very fun.
Addict.
Just a little bit. I do want to get a gold medal on all the levels, so I'll have to get 100% completion for that. So, taking my time. Definitely enjoying it, though. I do recommend it to everybody, even if it's not maybe your style of game. I do think it's worth trying out. It's especially nice that it's only $20. In a time where games are $80 now, it's nice to have something that's affordable. And it is on sale right now for the Steam Summerfest train thing. The Steam, all train games are on sale on Steam right now for the Steam Train Fest. So it is included in that sale. It's like,
so run a train over to,
to
Steam to get your train game.
Get your Steam train going on Steam.
We'll run a train. We'll run a train on these sales.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like trains.
Yeah. That's what they call running a train in Japan, Denshattack.
But yeah, I love it. It reminds me so much of a personal favorite, which is Jet Set Radio. I don't know if anybody here has played Jet Set Radio.
That's a great one. Yeah.
But that's obviously a classic from the Dreamcast era in the 90s. And I know it kind of had a spiritual successor that I haven't played, which was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I do need to play that, which looks really cool as well. But for someone's brain like mine, where I feel like I'm just on the edge of like always like, you know, pulled in 10 different directions, I love Denshattack and like the fact that it just fully grabs my attention. I think that's just awesome. And I think it will definitely be the ADHD core game for the rest of the year, for sure. It's just perfect in that sense. But that's all I can really say about it right now. I'll put together a formal review when I'm done. But for now, really like it, like the characters, love the art style, love the music. Strong 9 out of 10 at least. It's very good.
And how much of the game do you think you've beaten by now after 20? I know you've been doing the challenges, but after like
I'd say I'm halfway.
Wow.
I'm about halfway, because when you zoom out after each chapter, it shows you how much of Japan you've covered, and I'm about to reach Tokyo.
That's really impressive for like a game that's like $20, and with the Steam sale now, it's only like 18 or some 15. It's like almost like 40 hours of content for that much.
Yeah, if you're trying to do everything, because you can totally just run the levels and like not like
fair enough.
Get like a bronze medal, and you could probably beat it in 10 hours. I'd say.
But still, it would
It's easily, definitely a game for replayability.
Because I remember when I first saw it, it just seemed like, it's like it has like a quirky niche game to it, and it didn't look like there was like a lot to it. But now I've been seeing you play it and seeing a bit more about the game. It's like, wow, this is actually there's quite a lot in this game. It's not like one of those games that this serve has like 10 levels and you just replay them. No, it's like you have all these different levels, and yeah, you're only halfway done. It shows you the map of Japan, and you've only done the southern parts so far, and you haven't made it all the way up yet.
And you really feel progression in the game. That's something I should say too. You know, along with, they call them I forget the name for it they use for them, but they're like Einyan or something. It's just the name of the brand of the magazine the guy has, where it teaches you about the areas. But as you beat the rival gangs as you go through Japan, not only do you get information on them in those areas of Japan, like I just got through an area, Nagoya, which I know people here are personally connected to. I just got through Nagoya.
That's Marco's hometown.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for
once again doxing.
Doxing Marco.
Once again.
But add to the dox counter how many days. But with as you go through Japan, no, you're good. We're
that's
fine
fine
with you. But the funniest thing about it is, as you beat the rival gangs, you unlock more trains, and they all race differently. Like, some are faster, but it's harder to perform tricks on, and things like that. But also, when you beat the gangs, you get their graffiti art styles. So, like, all the gangs, like, paint and graffiti their trains differently. And so when you beat certain sections, it gives you those graffiti patterns and colors. And then you can customize all the trains differently based upon what you've got. So, like, right now, I have my train painted yellow with, like, clouds and, like, ramen noodles on it, because I've been able to combine different combinations. So there's tons of customization for your play style. And some of them are, like, really specific. Like, I figured it'd be one of those things where it's like, oh, this train's more stable and will crash less, or this one's looser but you get more trick points. No, it's like really specific stuff, like grind zone up for gained points, or more trick combo points in the air versus on the ground. So it encourages you to try and do as many aerial tricks as possible. They've got tons of different combinations of stuff you can do. It's clearly a love letter.
Nice.
I definitely think it'll go down as a classic. I know, shout out to a YouTuber I like, Fidel, Games Cage, who reviews, like, a lot of, like, niche or indie games and stuff like that. He was just ranting and raving for it, which was one of the reasons I picked it up. So, definitely recommend it. Excited to give a full review. But right now, if you think trains are cool, or you ever liked skateboarding, and you enjoyed Jet Set Radio or just underground indie music in general, check out Denshattack. It's very cool.
Did you ever play Hi-Fi Rush?
Yes, that's another good one that it's very similar to, I would say.
That's because I was going to say, it gives me the vibe of that.
It's very Hi-Fi Rush core as well. I'd say where Hi-Fi Rush feels like a staying in rhythm game, it's more like Denshattack's rhythm is to just make you feel like you're on edge the whole time. Like, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's also fun how well the concept works. I mean, obviously anime and, like, over hyper realism in, like, stories from Japan is a very common thing. But, certain, like, I don't know how to say it, but, like, motifs and, like, Japanese music and stuff like that work so well with the concept. Like, one of my favorite parts of the game, mild spoilers, is early on in, like, the second chapter, you fight a rival gang member, and you fight her inside of a baseball stadium. And she shoots, like, giant baseballs at you while you ride around the stadium, where her, like, gang members are all in there. And you have to do tricks to hit the baseballs back at her to damage her train, right? So you're essentially racing each other and, like, doing the whole thing. And in the song, it's like a hyper pop song it's playing. But, like, commonly with, like, Hatsune Miku, for example, you know how they hold, like, the lights and they go, like, yeah, and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You can see the gang members in the stands when it gets to the part of the song where it goes Densha, Densha, and they go, like, Like, stuff like that fits what the game wants so well. And they've thought about it, like, down to that level of detail of, like, immersing you in this very specific art style that is just going balls to the wall for, like, we're going to be crazy. We're just going to go for it, 100%. And it's very endearing.
Nice.
Enough said on that. I love that game. We'll shill for it hard probably for the rest of the year.
I'll probably pick it up while it's on sale, because I'm always interested when games like sort of feature Japan and its locations. And having been to Japan, you can kind of see it's like, okay, they took, like, you were doing the Nara level yesterday, and you could see, like, the deer.
The deer. You
in the
free
level.
the deer from the cage. It's so fun.
Right. It's why I also really want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows because of I can go and check out how Kyoto looked like and how Ubisoft masterfully recreated. What it would look like with Shinobi.
Of course, yeah. Obviously, the most historically accurate and beautifully crafted world that Ubisoft has.
Yeah,
made.
I heard Attack on Titans.
Yes.
There too,
yeah, there's Attack on Titan. There's Titans in it in the DLC, which is
just like
that happened in the Warring States era. It did happen in the Warring States era.
The Warring States era in Kyoto, Japan.
Exactly. Yes, the Shogun was like beating the Titans.
Yep. Exactly. And then we all played Avowed.
And I think we can wrap it up there. That might be the perfect wrap-up point for episode 10 of the Coffee Cast. Thank you, everyone who's been tuning in live. Much love to everybody. We've been growing. We've been growing more and more. I'm doing the wrong side for me. I can't figure it out. I'm stupid. But we've been growing more and more each week. It's been fun. Hey, wait a minute. Mods, get him. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. As always, we will be back next week talking about games and fun stuff like that. It's very exciting. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll catch you all soon.
Bye.
Bye everybody. Bye.